Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today I am going to do the tip out windshield upgrade that you can do on these 1500s. This is a Northstar Premium. It is not the Ultimate. The Ultimate comes with the tip up windshield, but the Premiums, you buy a kit. It comes with the handle, the gas struts, and you can, a little bit of time, and you can convert this standard windshield into a flip up windshield. So let's get started. Okay, so here's what comes in the kit. I will flash the part number on the screen, and I'll also in the description, guys, I'll have a link to the Polaris kit. But it comes with a handle here that you're going to need to open and close the windshield. You got a warning decal telling you how to use the windshield and how not to use it. It comes with the little deal, a new base that works with the handle here. Comes with a spring. You must have to put a spring somewhere. Actually, there's a couple springs. Then you get the ball, the little ball socket things, and then you get of course, you get two gas struts that the little ball sockets will go in each end. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple kit. Okay, so we're in the cab here, and from the factory, these Premiums, they're bolted down. You can see there's a bracket here that actually just bolts this down. It already comes with hinges. The hinges are already in the window, and it's got brackets. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a little bracket. That's where one of the little ball joint things are going to go. Maybe this side you can see a little better right here. This is where the strut, the gas strut's going to go from here, and then down here, I know you're not going to see it, but there's a little dimple in the plastic, and under that dimple, you drill that out, there should be an area that I can bolt one of those little studs into. So that's on both sides. Maybe you can get a read on that dimple over there. So I'm going to get to unbolting the centerpiece, and yeah, we'll continue with the installation here. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to unbolt these bolts right here on this bracket. And I'm going to tell you, these weren't even tight. They were just on there loose. Then you got this longer bolt. You're going to pull this longer bolt out, and you're going to reuse all this stuff, guys. So you're going to take this off, and you're going to put this bracket in place of that one, just like so. Okay, guys, so I tried to follow the directions from this point, and the directions are completely worthless after this point, except for maybe torque specs, and you know, hopefully them are correct. You can take the directions and toss them in the garbage because they're useless. This was supposed to be kind of a simple thing, and it is not simple at all. I'm going to try to walk you through this the best I can to try to help you out, anybody that's trying to do this job. You remember these panels here. You're supposed to find the dimple on the panel, and you got to drill it out. That's because there's a nut welded on the cage inside there, and that's what one of those balls are going to go on to hold your the hydraulic support deal. And this does not just fall off, and it does not they say just take the inside one out. Bull crap. That ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen that way. You're gonna have to pull the outside one. And one thing, there's weather stripping that is stuck on here. I'm gonna have to re-stick it because it goes partially on this panel. See, this is the panel that was up here. Okay, so it kind of wraps around the roll bar, right? You can see it. This is the inside, this is the outside. So to get this outside panel off, you see those clips? There's 3 clips right there. So those go into the fender. See those slots? They go in those slots right there. It ain't gonna just pop out. I mean, somehow they are locked in there. So what I had to do is I actually took a long screwdriver, had to kind of pry them to get them to pop out. Once you get the outside panel loose, the inside panel, you know, you got the push pins. There's 2 push pins on this side, which is easy, and then it kind of unfolds. There's a clip right here. There's a clip right here. That's the hard one. It doesn't want to pop out right there. And then there's another clip right here that kind of holds it right there. You see that? So that was really, really fun learning all that on my brand new machine. Luckily, I got away with no damage. This reminds me of new cars, how they're put together. Just sometimes seems ridiculous. Anyway, there's my hole. That's the hole you need to drill. That's got to be 5/8. And I did that. They tell you to use a step drill. Guys, go out and get yourself a new step drill. I'm using my old one. It's wore out and I'm struggling. But here's the other side, the driver's side, which this panel I think was pulled. This was pulled out before for some reason. I believe you can see on the steel drive transmission emblem, you can see where it's kind of distorted. That's because the guy just he must have really cranked on it to get this panel to come off. You need to get behind there, guys, with something and help it pop off. Otherwise, I don't see it coming off. Somehow them clips really hold on. Anyway, there's my other hole for the other side. And basically what that is for is this piece right here. One of the hydraulic prop deals go on there. See, that's got to go through this hole. And it's going to bolt onto the roll bar of the Ranger. So yeah, that's where I am right now. Do not install the handle. They want you to install the handle and it locks on here, and then you can't move this windshield. This windshield's got to go up to be able to get this panel off because it wraps around the whole deal. You can install this piece like I did, this bottom piece, that's okay, but the rest of this is going to have to wait till you get it supported. So I'm going to reinstall my side panels. I'm going to reinstall those on both sides. I'm going to get my ball in there. I've already got the ball. I don't know why I got light in here, but you can't hardly see it. Don't look like. I got one here. The ball has to go to the outside of the machine. See, you can see the bolt on that one. The bolt is what you're going to see. So remember that. Okay, so I'm going to try to give you a visual how to get this panel back on. I know I don't got a take off, but I showed you. This panel does separate. There's pieces right here. You can do this in 2 separate pieces. I can't get these clips to come off. They're stuck on there, and I'm going to break them. I'm going to end up breaking them if I try to pull it off. So I'm going to just stick it back on here in one piece. I gotta get something to hold the window up, because I gotta have two hands. Hopefully that'll work out. I just got a piece of wood holding that. I'm not sure I'm gonna get this weather stripping. Here we go. See that weather stripping right there? It's got like double-sided tape, and now I'm gonna have to redo it because it's messed up. So I'm gonna try to get this to snap back in. That's the hard one, that center one there. And it looks like my hole ain't even where it needs to be. I'll have to Dremel the hole bigger because I can clearly see that is not where it needs to be. Clearly. I get my push pins back installed here. And I guess that's in. Okay, so after all that work, look at where that hole is in relation. Yep, not even close. I can save you guys a lot of time. Just pop this inside panel out a little bit. Get yourself a Dremel, find the little dimple. Apparently they're not even close to where it needs to be. Drill that dimple out a little bit with your Dremel, a trim bit, and kind of find where the hole's at. Once you find where the hole's at, just make it larger until this little ball thing fits on there, which is what I wish I would have done. Now I wish I would have done it that way. Learn from me, guys. It's easier, just get a Dremel. So when I talk about a Dremel with a trim bit, this is what I'm talking about. This is actually an old Craftsman's, but Dremel is kind of the name everyone calls these little rotary tools. Anyway, I got a trim bit. This one's really wore out. I believe it might be for drywall or something like that. I don't know what it is, but you got to get the ones that have the tips. I don't know if you can see that or not, if it's going to focus. You got to have the cutter all the way to the end of the tip. You can't get the drywall ones that don't have a cutter all the way to the end of the tip, because then you can't cut plastic with it. This thing here, I've cut so much Polaris plastic with this one. You can see it's discolored and wore out, but it'll still get the job done. So I'm going to get them holes. I'm going to get those holes wallered out. And really disappointed in that the holes ain't in the right spot. Anyway, I got to open them up, get this install finished up. Okay, so I got them in there. They're just calling them ball ends. but that's screwed in there. I got that one screwed in there, and my hole is bigger than I needed it to be because Polaris's directions are crap. Either that or the plastic, the little dimple they put in there is crap. Whatever it is, like I said, take the Polaris directions, throw them in the garbage. I wish I just would have took my Dremel. Like I said, loosen this inside panel up, kind of get it away from the roll cage, find that dimple, run your Dremel in the dimple hole and kind of find where that hole is at, and then just slowly make it bigger and bigger. Yeah, it makes a little bit of a mess in here. You got to clean up all that plastic that happens, but that's the way I'd do it if I was going to do it again. So now I got to figure out, I got to get my shocks or my hydraulic dampers or whatever on the windshield by myself. This windshield is incredibly heavy. So I got to get them snapped on. They just snap onto the balls, guys. You got, the ball down here, the ball up here, if I had some light, the ball there, and then once I get that snapped up there, I got to work on this handle here, getting it in place. Well, I got to tip up windshield, finally. Okay, so I'm running out of time, guys. My card's gonna get full. I got my handle bolted up here, and I got those springs in there. Hopefully you can see how they go. The rounded end is gonna go on the windshield, I believe. Again, Polaris isn't gonna tell you anything about it. I don't know why. Don't crank this bolt, this long bolt that goes through there. Don't crank it down because it's glued to the window, and it's got a nylon lock nut, so just snug it up. Otherwise, you could squeeze this bracket inward, possibly cracking your windshield. I don't know. I tightened this bracket up. I actually closed the window, pulled it tight, tightened this up. Again, don't go crazy with these bolts because I see I was distorting it a little bit as I was tightening it down. So just snug them down just a little bit. Another thing Polaris ain't going to tell you about is those wires. Mine was stretched out really bad. You got a washer fluid tube and a wiring, so you got to kind of go in there and pull them. They're zip tied up. You got to pull them down, get some slack in them so they ain't pulling that really tight. But yeah, it's the Polaris's instructions totally disappointing. I've installed their stuff before, and I've usually been really happy with what they got, but this was just a mess. The Premium should have came with a tip-up windshield from the factory. I don't know why they do this bull crap where you got to do it yourself, but anyway, here's the operation, guys. I usually like to use two hands to do this to help support it, and then that goes in there and pull it down, and it locks in. You can't do it without pushing a little tab. You got to push this tab down, and then it unlocks, and you can push it up again. I like to help it with two hands. I don't want to do it with just one hand. I just like to help it because I have heard of these windshields cracking in older Rangers like the 900s and the 1000s and stuff. I just like to take it easy to make sure nothing happens. You can crack this windshield. You can put it at a cracked open, which is really nice. But I'm about out of memory on my card, guys. I guess that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully this will help some people out because this was a mess as far as instructions goes. I'll see you guys.